The Lost Continent, Travels in Small-Town America marks the debut book of American travel writer Bill Bryson. In this captivating narrative, Bryson chronicles his extensive journey across the United States, covering a remarkable distance of 13,978 miles during the fall of 1987 and spring of 1988. Rooted in his hometown of Des Moines, Iowa, Bryson's personal experiences and fond memories significantly shape the essence of this work. Employing his trademark humor, Bryson shares insightful observations about the evolving landscape and the diverse individuals he encounters along the way. He begins by vividly describing his upbringing in Des Moines and the occasional monotony that accompanied it. Bryson delves into the distinctive characters found in Iowa, where people often embrace a life confined to their surroundings or eagerly yearn to escape. Inspired by childhood family trips, particularly his visit to Gettysburg, Bryson embarks on a grander adventure across America. The narrative is structured into two sections, East and West. Setting off in an eastward direction, Bryson embarks on a quest to discover the quintessential small town, realizing that finding such a place is an ambitious endeavor. Instead, he encounters fragments of what could constitute an ideal town scattered throughout his various destinations. Beginning his journey by revisiting his grandparents' house in the Midwest, Bryson navigates along Highway 218, eventually arriving at Keokuk. Continuing his expedition through states like Illinois, he makes a temporary residence in a motel in a town humorously dubbed Dullard. Progressing further, Bryson explores Missouri, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Kentucky before veering northward. Arriving in Philadelphia, he reunites with two acquaintances from Des Moines, Hal and Lucia. During his exploration, Bryson marvels at the splendor of Fairmount Park, deeming it a paragon of perfection. Subsequently, he proceeds to Gettysburg, revisiting the historic battlefields that left an indelible impression on him during his childhood. Additionally, Bryson pays a visit to Bloomsburg, where he reunites with his brother and his family. Delving into Lancaster County, he immerses himself in the unique cultures of the Dutch, Mennonites, and Amish communities. The Lost Continent, Travels in Small-Town America captures Bryson's captivating journey, highlighting the charm, peculiarities, and idiosyncrasies encountered in the lesser-explored regions of the United States. The family embarks on a delightful visit to a Pennsylvania Dutch restaurant, relishing copious amounts of delectable food. Bryson's next destination is Hannibal, where he immerses himself in the childhood abode of renowned writer Mark Twain. Along the way, he indulges in nostalgic recollections of beloved movies and actors from his youth, envisioning them as the ideal residents of his envisioned town, Amalgam, a name signifying unity and togetherness. In Bryson's vision, Amalgam would bear resemblance to the picturesque settings often found in Hollywood films. Noting the scarcity of signage during his journey through America, Bryson proceeds towards Springfield, only to find the town disappointing. Continuing his exploration, he arrives at New Salem, Abraham Lincoln's hometown, where an abundance of repetitive log cabins greets the visitors. Taking Interstate 55 south to Carbondale, Bryson secures accommodations before making a visit to Pizza Hut and satisfying his curiosity by perusing the offerings at Kmart. Although he admits to being somewhat critical of the establishment, Bryson's travels lead him to Mississippi, prompting him to contemplate the complex issue of race in the South and confront the specter of racism. After a visit to the University of Mississippi, he observes the significant changes that have taken place, witnessing harmonious coexistence between individuals of different races. Continuing his expedition, Bryson explores Tupelo, the birthplace of the iconic Elvis Presley. His next stop is Columbus, a town that comes close to embodying his envisioned amalgam but is hindered by his aversion to the Southern accent. The journey carries Bryson to Warm Springs, passing through Pine Mountain to reach the Little White House, the former residence of President Roosevelt. He keenly observes the artifacts he encounters and engages with the local elderly populace. Bryson's next destination is the enchanting city of Savannah, which captivates him with its undeniable charm. He proceeds to Beaufort, South Carolina, where he finds the atmosphere unwelcoming. However, his experiences take a positive turn as he arrives in Charleston, another city that exceeds his expectations and leaves an indelible impression. As Bryson ventures westward, he openly expresses his disdain for the monotonous flatness of Kansas, questioning why early settlers chose to settle there in the first place. During his odyssey, Bryson encounters a sudden snowstorm that compels him to alter his course, leading him south from his location in Colorado. Eventually, he finds himself in New Mexico, where he seizes the opportunity to spend a delightful day with his niece in the enchanting city of Santa Fe. However, a particular section of California that had held promise proves to be disappointingly mundane. Reflecting on his childhood awe of the Grand Canyon, Bryson's anticipation is dampened by an overcast sky that obscures the majestic view during this trip. Along his route, he stumbles upon the most dilapidated town he has encountered, Wells in Nevada. A stark contrast to the glimmering lights and glamour of Las Vegas. As he draws nearer to his hometown of Des Moines, Bryson becomes aware that his remarkable journey is coming to an end. After traversing more than 13,000 miles, he finally arrives in Des Moines, a place he had once yearned to escape as a child. To his surprise, he finds himself considering the possibility of genuine contentment and contemplates the notion of being genuinely happy living there. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.